What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. In this video, I want to ask you guys a question. I've been pondering this the last couple of days. I think this deserves a video. Now, let me say this. DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls have been a disappointment this year. Although they will make the playoffs, I don't have a lot of faith in this team at this time. I'm looking glumly toward a first round exit, possibly a sweep by the team who they face. Um, the Bulls are just literally limping pitifully into the playoffs. They've been one of the worst teams in the playoffs. Excuse me, one of the worst teams in the second half of the season. DeMar DeRozan has been a bright spot in this season. For a while, he was in that MVP discussion. He's receded somewhat. He's not in it anymore, but still averaging 27.9 points per game. He's had one hell of a year, a career year, in my opinion. But I want to ask you this question. Do you see DeMar DeRozan as a future Hall of Famer? Right now, I do not. I don't see him as a future Hall of Famer, but I was a little bit surprised to see that he's almost at 20,000 career points. Now, the reason why I bring him up is because of the fact that, I did a video like this, I think last year, on LaMarcus Aldridge when he briefly retired after the heart scare that he had. I think most of us kind of said, Lamar's had a good career, but I wouldn't quite put him at that trajectory. But good career, but not quite Hall of Famer. But since then, Lamarcus Aldridge has come back. He's eclipsed the 20,000 career point barrier, and he's probably going to play for maybe a couple of more years, I suppose. But you never know. The thing about DeMar DeRozan, though, is whereas Lamarcus Aldridge is on the downside of his career, DeRozan appears to be peaking. All right. Now he's 30, I believe, 32 years old, and he had his best statistical season in quite some time. Now, one of the knocks on DeMar DeRozan has been he's been rather inconsistent, and he doesn't get the job done when it matters in the playoffs. Hence the icy nickname DeMar DeFrozen. All right. Um, but let me ask you this, because right now I don't see him as a Hall of Famer. He's just shy. I mean, just shy, like literally 100 and something points shy of 20,000 points. He's a five-time, I think, All-Star, I believe. He's never been first team All NBA, although that might change this year. I think one time he was All NBA second team, one time All NBA third team. That doesn't sound like a Hall of Fame resume to me. A really good player, but not a Hall of Fame resume. But let me ask you this. Let's say over the next couple of years, ages 33 and age 34 of his career, he plays at a very high level, giving you 25 to 26 points per contest. Um, let's say the Bulls make some minor changes in the offseason, change the fucking coach. Let's say they get to the conference finals next year, and then the year afterward, they go to the NBA finals. Now, let's say they don't win the title necessarily, but they get to the finals. At least he has a memorable playoff run that we can all put in our memory banks toward DeMar DeRozan to erase the DeMar DeFrozen, um, DeMar DeFrozen image. And let's say in this scenario, after that, he slowly declines as a player. Slowly. Age 36, he's still a good player, but not the same player. And let's say he plays until he's 38. And by that time, he's a role player coming off the bench for some team. And let's say he wins a championship as a role player on another team. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, he goes to the Bucks and wins a championship with them. Now, in this scenario, let's say he finishes with Ooh, he's just shy of 20,000 now. Ooh, man. Let's say he stays very healthy. That would be 24,000. Let's say he finishes with almost 28,000 points in his career. Almost 28,000 career points. And he wins an NBA championship with the Bucks as a contributing player. He has that finals run that we can remember. He's a seven-time NBA All-Star. He has three all first team All NBA appearances, as far as All NBA first team appearances. The one second and one third. At that point, is he a Hall of Famer? I think just the strength off of the 28,000 career points, you got to put him in the Hall of Fame at that point. You got to, because then you can make an argument that his resume would be similar to something like a Carmelo Anthony, but he has a championship ring. Not saying that he's been as consistent and as dominant as as Carmelo's been, but you got the 28,000 points, you got the championship ring, you got the NBA Finals run when he was still at the top of his game. Um, a couple of, and by that time, a couple of playoff runs to solidify and erase that DeMar DeRozan image. So, what do you guys think? Tell me. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer right now? I do not think he is, even when you take into effect the diminished, uh, levels when it comes to who's a Hall of Famer. But would he be a Hall of Famer in that scenario? I think absolutely. Tell me what you guys think.